What's up, everyone? This is Brett from Rancher Us Reads. You might recognize me from my previous channels, Rancher Us and Rancher Us Reacts, where we reacted to pop culture and basically everything that goes on in modern culture. But starting on this new channel, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to talk about the books that I absolutely love, that I adore, that I read, and maybe I rant about a little bit. But let's start with a book that I was very hesitant on really just giving a try because I'm not a gamer. I don't really like comedy in books. I'm a more serious reader. As you can tell by the books behind me, I've got a lot of John Gwynne, I've got a lot of Abercrombie, I've got a lot of books that are more epic fantasy based. But I decided to give it a shot to see if, all the hype was real about it. Dungeon Crawler Coral by Matt Dinniman. What do I think of it? What do I think about it? My first ever LitRPG. It was a mix. I don't really have a lot of rants about it, but I do have some problems with it. At times, it does go a little bit too much into that video game culture, and I kind of feel like it stops the pacing in a lot of different ways. Now, mostly I did enjoy kind of the video game aspect of it. The part where that you've got, he stops and he hears, the video game moderator speak to him about things, and it was fun. It really was some sharp and witty humor. It just, to me, at first was a little overwhelming. Now, I will say this, though. Don't give up. Don't give up. If it first is bothering you, don't give up. Because this book gets considerably better as it goes. And I was pleasantly surprised by it as well. I really did not think I would like the idea of a talking cat. A talking cat with a man. It it was odd. It was very odd. But it was also some of the most fun I've had with a character really in my life. I will say Princess Donut is probably a character that will stay with me for the rest of my life. Will literally stay with me for the rest of my life. She, especially, and I would definitely recommend on this one, do the audiobook with it. Because the first time that I read this book, I read it. And I think that posed a lot of the problems that I had with it. This book is exceptional. And I mean exceptional when it comes to reading it on, let's say, Audible. That changed my whole experience with this book, especially early on, because it's like the jokes I kind of got a lot more. I enjoyed the dialogue a lot more than what it was. Overall, I would say the dialogue on this one, it's just spectacular. It's like it hits every point where it needs to hit. It's not it jokes around a lot, but it also seems to continue the story as it goes. There's not a lot of stoppage. There's not a lot of fluff when it comes to this book. Overall, it was a clear 4 out of 5 for me. And I'll admit, the first 50 pages of it, I struggled. I really thought this was going to be a book that I was going to clearly DNF. Like, I went into it thinking I was going to DNF this one really quick. But I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did, because I think this is going to be a series that I'm going to continue on with. Not only just continue on with, but I'm probably going to finish this series. I'm curious about how it goes. It's such an interesting concept. You have this game-like world in an alien invasion. Mankind is being subdued and placed into this game show for all the universe to see. It's an interesting concept, and I thought Matt Dinniman was absolutely brilliant by how he brought it all together. If the next books are anything, I think there's at least like 7 or 8 of these books. Now, don't hold me to that, but I think there's at least 7 or so of these books. So I'm a little bit behind when it comes to this, but I'm going to start on the second book tonight. And I really truly cannot wait. I just finished this one, and man, it blows my mind that I'm saying this, because lit RPG, like I would have, if you would have asked me what would have been, something that I would not have got into, I would have said there's romantasy and then there's lit RPG. It makes me almost want to try other series, but I don't think anybody could possibly do it as well as what Matt Denman is. I mean, you got to give this man all the praise in the world. He's a great author. He's a great author. And I think this book was originally self-published, which makes it all the better. Because, I mean, it just shows you, if you are an author, it shows you that, hey, your stuff can be picked up later on. And, just because, and I mean, this book is brilliant. This book right here is absolutely brilliant. So, it doesn't mean if you're not traditionally published, it doesn't mean that your book isn't good enough. Always remember that. Always remember that. And keep hope that you'll be the next Matt Denman. But overall, I would give this book a 4 out of 5. I would say probably the strongest point is the dialogue. I would probably have to say the weakest part of it would be, I don't know, the initial story itself, and maybe the game-like purpose in it is the weakest to me, because there was sometimes that it did take me out of the story. Like when they would, when the game narrator would go and he would speak, it took me out of the story for a while, because it's just, them talking about stats. I really hated that part. I never got used to that part. I don't think I ever will, and I don't think I will ever like that. I just hope in future books that he gets better with that, and that we don't get that so much, because I don't want like whole chapters dedicated to, stat bonus this and stat bonus that, and I don't really care about that stuff. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to see how this story progresses. I'm here to see how a man in nothing but his boxers can go through this alien maze, video game, whatever it's called, with his ex-girlfriend's cat. Talking cat, as is. But overall, definitely a must read. Definitely a must read. Could not recommend this book anymore. Really, truly couldn't. It is a 4 out of 5. I would say it would be a clear 5 out of 5 if it wasn't for the kind of the holdups with the initial 50 pages or so, where that it's they're talking about the stats and so forth. I feel like that maybe is something they don't have to cut out completely, but they might need to tone down a little bit. But overall, guys, let me know what y'all think about Dungeon Crawler Carl. Have you read it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you love about it? What did you hate about it? Do you feel as connected to these characters as what I do? I will say, once I finished this book, the first thing that came in my mind was, I've got to pick up the second one. I want to know what happens. I want to know how this story progresses. I've read better stories. I've read far better stories than this. But there's few stories that have actually stuck with me. I'm trying to think like First Law, like a lot of the characters of that really stuck with me. But other than that, like, it's just a very character-driven book. And I hope it's a very character-driven book series. I hope that from what I've heard in the future about these books, that there gets to be a lot more characters. I hope that they stick with the main characters of this. I especially hope that there's no, multiple POVs or anything like that. Like, I want it to stick with Carl. And so far it has. But I'll let y'all know what I think of the second book. But overall, guys, let me know what y'all think. And as always, thank you for watching the first ever Rants or Us Reads. Glad this was one that we got more reads than rants. But as always, guys, y'all let me know what y'all think, and take care.